Hi, today I will show you how to organize work with Blender when you have lots of objects, like in this case we have this board and for the checkers, and you can see we have the pieces here, black and white, and there is a board, there is this rim, and the background is just for a nicer effect. As you can see, if I select something, you see that there is like a lot of objects here because every piece of the board, and maybe I will switch to this because it will be less not noisy and faster. Okay, so as you can see, all that pieces of board as well as pieces for playing are separate objects. I can even enable proportional editing and move it like that, and you can see that those are separate objects, right? Normally you do not make a board like that because it doesn't make sense so often, but I just wanted to show you that we have a lot of objects here and there is like a board and pieces, and we should probably somehow organize it, because by default it would be here a long list in the outliner. And as you can see, I have it quite neatly organized with this everything collection. Those stuff here with this like box icon are called collections. You can imagine them like folders or directories in file system, so they can have nested collections, and in this case this board and pieces, right? So if I expand the board, you can see we have this cube and cube.001, 002, and so on, because those are basically duplicates, right? So I haven't renamed them because there is no need here, and I just put it here and collapse, and boom. So as you can see, when I click here, I can quickly hide it, and similar with pieces like that, right? So show and hide, and if I expand it, it's really similar piece, and there is piece 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? Okay, so this is how I organize it, and you can also hide the entire collection with everything. And here is the default Blender collection with camera light, and at the start of the file you also have the cube. This is famous default cube, which is not here because I moved it and use it as a board piece, like this one. If I go to edit mode and change something, it will edit all white pieces, and the same with the black ones, right? And they even use pretty much the same geometry, but I copied it just because to apply different material. That way you can reuse the meshes, and I want to have like few more of those. So what I can do, I can duplicate with Shift D, okay, like that, and just move it, and it's snapping to grid now, which is what I want. But the problem with that is when I go to edit mode and edit it, you see it edits only this one, and you may want that, of course, but we want to have all the same kind of pieces with this, like having the same shape, right? Now look at that. With Alt D, okay, I have to go to top view and now G, like that. With Alt D, by the way, you can see those shortcuts here, right? When I now extrude it, for example, it changed all the other pieces, because Alt D make a duplicate of object, but using the same mesh, so it's linking the same mesh source, right? So if I wanted to have such change, that would be the solution. I didn't, so I will Control Z, just select those two and remove it. But yeah, there is a difference. So we can really quickly adjust the shapes, and everything is nice and dandy, and we can quickly control it within our scene, even if we have lots of objects. Now I will show you another example. So here we have a forest, a low poly forest, and as you can see, there is a bunch of trees and some ground, and I can zoom in like that. Okay, and if you would need to model all the trees by hand one by one, even with such low poly style, it would take a while, and then making some adjustments would be quite lots of work, and just not that convenient. There is another way. What you can do here is let's see here, I set a tree sources collection and have this leaf tree and slightly different one, and pine tree, and the same pine tree with some adjustments, modifications. Maybe I will just disable those, hide those, and this is what I'm talking about. Basically, I made two trees, one like a pine one and one with leaves, like the like a sphere of leaves, stylized, and then just copied it and made some modifications like that. Okay, so this is our collection. So this is three sources, and I called it sources because we'll then use it to populate the forest, right? So if I now hide it and check this, and base is just for lights and some objects, so it doesn't matter that much here. So you can see that all that stuff, actually, those are instances of this entire collection, and I will show you. 7 for top view, and I will zoom out a bit, and what you can do, you can just hover over the collection icon and drag and drop here like that. And as you can see, we added the instance of this collection, and you can scale it, rotate it, and position it as you want. And by that, I just make this forest really quickly. What you cannot do is just edit a single object from the collection. You can, but you have to go to the source collection, adjust it. So I can, for example, show it and select, let's say, this tree. And as you can see, if I do some adjustments, it changes in all the copied linked instance, right? So that way you can do that, and this is actually cool because you can just change some style, sizes, positioning, materials, whatever, and you can even add another tree type or some flower or whatever here, and it will propagate in all of the instances. The outline, for instance, is more like brownish instead of here, which is like orangey, right? If it's not selected, you may not see it like that, but you will see it in outliner, because as you can see, the icon is a bit different. It's like two boxes, one behind another, and it's also orange here, and this is white, right? So you can see, and if I expand it, I placed all other instances here within this forest collection. So as you can see, we have a bunch of those, and you can just like drag to hide some if you want really quickly, and maybe show them again. So you can organize it really quickly like that. We can collapse this also and put the last added collection here too, so it's in the same parent collection. Let's say you want to select all the instances without going here, which by the way you can either just select those here or click here to select objects, but you may don't want this. You may want to select it from here, so you can go select linked instance collection and it will just select all the instances, and as you can see we have those lights here and the ground, and it's not selected. The select have many other options, so you may just check it. You may like select by type, just meshes and like that. So now the ground is also selected but lights are not. You may want to select by material and so on. And by the way, as you can see we have this forest. I renamed it because by default it's called scene, so you have only one scene by default, but I add forest and the ocean. Let's show the ocean for a moment. So just change the rendering type for this. We'll not do anything with this ocean. I just wanted to show you that you can have like a totally different scenery. So in one scene we have like the forest, and here is the ocean, and somewhere else could be mountains and some stuff like that. So you don't want to put everything in like one huge scene, huge world, because Blender would then need to display it, process it, and especially with animations and a lot of materials and stuff, it could be extremely hard to handle and it could slow your Blender down, and it would be actually really inconvenient for you. So unless you have a scene where there is ocean and there is a forest next to it, you just want to have one for ocean and one for forest. So let's go back to this forest and switch mode again. So yeah, so those are scenes. As you can see, I have bunch of those here, but you can create a new one. So here, new, you can copy some settings or link or full copy, which will be like a full duplicate of this exact scene. So let's create a new, and as you can see, new is like totally blank, and what we can do is just add something. So let's add monkey because yeah, why not? And yeah, so this is our new scene and we can rename it to monkey house, for example. And even we don't have any house, but let's pretend, let's make a plane, and there is now monkey on a plane, right? And we can colorize it, okay, like that. So you organize things within Blender files. The files have scenes, scenes have collections, and collections can be nested, can be instanced, and can contain lots of objects with different types. Okay, that would be all for today, and I hope you like it and learn something useful to create a more powerful, bigger and complex scenes and creations, maybe even animations. If so, please leave a comment below so I can connect with my viewers, with you better, and that would be nice. And also hit a like button because it will tell YouTube that this was a valuable video, so it will show it hopefully for more people, and that will help me too. And if you are not already subscribed, please also subscribe, because then YouTube will show you more of my videos. That would be nice. So see you next time. Bye.